Good afternoon, boys and girls. I hope that you have made it home safely and that you're able to find this video with ease with your parents' help. Today we're going to be learning about sketchnoting that we're going to be using in class tomorrow to retell the story of The Garden by Arnold Lobel. It is our story for the week in our Imagine It program, and we will be using sketches to be able to tell the story rather than writing our notes like regular. So what you're going to need is you are going to need paper. Miss Vaughn has a couple of pieces of paper already on her table. You need something to write with, lots of different colors if you would like. You can use colored pencils, marker, just a regular pencil with an eraser if that's what you would like. Whatever you have around at home to write with. You don't need a ton of colors. You at least probably want 2 to 3 though. So the first thing with sketchnoting that we have to be able to do is to be able to write some fonts, which is how we form our letters. So we're going to go ahead and practice writing our alphabet in 2 different ways. The first way I would like you to practice writing your alphabet is in all capital letters. So all capital letters. If you could go ahead and do that on your paper, I would really appreciate it. And then we are going to go ahead and write it in all lowercase letters. With our fonts, you get to choose which one works best for you. So we can write our font in all capital letters, we can write it in all lowercase letters, or we can do a mixture. So we're going to go ahead and practice that with our names. So go ahead and pick a color, one color rather than what you wrote your title in or your alphabet in, and we're going to practice writing our names. So I'm going to pick, it looks like green here, and I'm going to write Miss Vaughn, and I can write Miss Vaughn in all capital letters. Remember, you are writing your name. Or I can write it in all lowercase letters. Or I can do it with a mixture, and I can start it with a capital and end it with lowercase letters. Or maybe I even want to do a mixture and do uppercase, lowercase, uppercase, lowercase, whatever is easiest for me. Oops. There we go. So you can see we can write our fonts in lots of different ways, but we want to make sure that we have a main font title. So whatever we're going to use throughout our sketchnote as our main title. So I'm probably going to go ahead and pick all capitals because it stands out really well and I'm good at it. If I'm not so good at capital letters, I might pick something different. I want to pick what's easiest for me because the thing about a sketch note is that we're sketching quickly as we go. It's not a tedious project. It's something to remember our thoughts, okay? It's doodling with a purpose. Okay, so now that we have our text that we are going to pick, we have to learn how to draw our pictures and make icons. So we're going to go ahead and you can flip your paper over if you want to use the side. I'm going to start with a new piece of paper. We have to be able to draw our icons. So some things that we use at school all the time, let's go ahead and draw a picture of a ruler. So we're going to do a ruler, and I'm going to go ahead and write ruler. Okay, notice I didn't do any capitals, I did in lowercase. So I changed my font on this page. Ruler, and I have to draw a ruler. It looks like a rectangle, and it has numbers on it and some dashes, so I might put some dashes, and then I'm going to put some numbers on it to show that it is a ruler. You go ahead and draw a ruler on your paper. Something else that we use in school a lot that we should probably be able to draw is a book, and books are something that we come up with a lot and we read a lot of them in class. So being able to draw the title real quick is really important to represent this book and not have to write, this is the name of the book. I'm going to draw a picture of it. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a rectangle. Okay. And then to make it into a book, we're going to do some 3 sideways lines, pretty small, and then just connect them. Okay. And you can see that you just made a rectangular prism. That's a book. And I'm going to go ahead and write the book title that we're going to be reading tomorrow, which is called The Garden. So now I can see that I drew a picture, it's a book, and it says The Garden. And I might even put page lines in here to make it look more like a book and not so much like a cereal box. Okay, so The Garden. We are reading that story tomorrow in class, and we will be doing a sketch note about how Toad feels in the story and the beginning, or it happens in the story, the beginning, the middle, the end. We'll be doing all of that tomorrow in class. Right now, we're just learning how to draw pieces that we may need. Okay, so we have a ruler, a book, another great icon that we may need to use in class. Like a ruler would probably be used in math. This would be used in language arts, right? Let's think of another icon that we might use in class that we may need. Ooh, well, I know for tomorrow that the story is called The Garden. So maybe I want to learn how to draw something that's in a garden. That's going to represent a garden. So I'm going to go ahead and write garden. And then when I think of a garden, I think of flowers. So I'm going to go ahead and draw some flowers. Okay, to represent my garden. You know, your flowers may look different than Miss Swan's. Your pictures don't have to look exactly like mine. Maybe you want to draw tulips. Okay. Maybe you know how to draw a rose. Miss Swan doesn't know how to draw a rose. Maybe you might be able to draw better than Miss Swan, and that's okay. This is for you to show your artistic talents through your sketch notes and what you feel comfortable with. Okay, so now that we have some icons, let's learn how to put everything together. We have icons and words. Okay. So the next thing that we are going to be able to do is we have to put everything together. So for example, tomorrow, like I said, we're going to be reading The Garden, and I'm going to tell you a little story about the garden that I planted a couple years ago. I drew or made a garden. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and title this My Garden. Okay, and I might put it in a cool little thing so it stands out. Remember, this is my title. So it stands out, My Garden. And in my garden, I had some empty pots. Okay, my pots were empty. They had nothing in them, my flower pots. Okay, and I had to wait a really long time, it seems like, for spring to come so that I could plant some seeds. So I have seeds. Okay, I had to wait a really long time to plant those seeds. Okay, and I didn't feel like it was ever going to happen. And when we draw feelings, I just have to draw a circle, right? And then kind of my face. So if I felt like it was taking a really long time, how do you think I might feel? Probably sad, huh? Like it's never going to come. I might even put a little thought bubble up here and go, will spring come? Okay. So we don't know. Okay, it took me a long time, but you know what's exciting? Spring always does come around. So I was able to plant my seeds into my pots. And you know what happened after I planted my seeds is I waited a really long time and I had my flowers grow. So do you see how I just told a story using text, feeling, and icons to tell how I waited for my flower to grow? Okay. So we have an assignment this evening of what I would like you to do. Now I'm going to walk you through it on the next page. Your goal is going to be able to draw pictures of icons of 3 things you have done after school today to share with your classmates tomorrow when you come in. So I'm going to go ahead and share 3 of mine and how you might be able to lay out your paper so that you can do it at home. So the first thing I'm going to need is my title across the thing, or across the top of my paper. So you might title it Things I Did After School, 3 Things I Did, 3 Things. You get to pick your title. Miss Vaughn is going to go ahead and do 3 things. Okay? And I'm going to put a number 3 rather than writing it. And then I'm going to do things in all capital letters this time. 3 things. Okay? And then I'm going to subdivide my paper into 3 parts so that I can see where I'm going to draw. So I can see that I'm going to draw my first thing here, draw my second thing here, and my third thing here. So kind of like the beginning, middle, and end we will be doing tomorrow. This might be helpful tomorrow. Our last thing that we are going to do is I'm going to do 3 things that I've done. So for the first thing that I did after school today, it was I drove home. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my car. Put my wheels on it. Okay. And I drove home, and I'm going to put my little window, and I'm going to try to put me in it driving home. Okay? So I drove home. The next thing that I did is I went to the gym, and stick figures, I cannot tell you how important they are in sketchnoting. They're simple, they're easy. I can add a lot of details. I can add feet, okay? If I'm standing, I can add hair to it. I can add facial expressions. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a happy face because I'm happy after I go to the gym. I'm going to put some little muscles on my stick figure, okay? I might add a little bit of hair because Miss Vaughn is not bald. Okay, I can add a lot of detail to stick figures really easy. So stick figures are the way to go with sketchnoting. Okay, and the last thing that I did, and I'm actually doing it right now, is I cooked dinner. Okay, so can you tell by my 3 things that I did, maybe what I did, that I drove a car, I went to the gym, and I cooked dinner. Okay, I really can't wait to see what you come up with tomorrow when you come to class of your 3 things that you have done after school. And then we will be once again working on the garden of telling how Toad feels throughout the story, and being able to tell what happens in the beginning and the middle and the end using a sketch note. Okay? Have fun.